It's 9:59, so I'm on time. I'm gonna wait for y'all to come on and be on time. Hopefully TikTok is sending it out. Let me send some out too. Make this a group effort. Bam. 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 Share my own stuff. Share my own stuff. So yeah. Sharing the live. Got my personal moderator. I got a live-in moderator. Ready and waiting. Ready and waiting. I'm gonna summon the alien superstar. So thank you for the people coming in and out. I'm just waiting for more so we can get to it. Every Wednesday, it's 10 o'clock on the dot. Every Wednesday, I'm live here on TikTok. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll send those out. Thank you for joining. Come on in, and as you come on in, tap that screen. Thank you, son, for my rose. All right. Today we're talking about, the title is Retrograde Season and More. So while we wait, let's do the current astrology forecast. We have the sun in Cancer. We have the moon in Leo. We have Venus in Leo. We have Mercury in, and I know you can't see my background today, but I'm checking my sources. We have Venus, the moon, and Mercury all in Leo. Okay. We have the North Node and the South Node have switched just, what's today, the 19th? Today's the 19th? 2 days ago. Yep, on Monday with the new moon in Cancer. So we're still in those energies. But what I'll tell you, there's a bonus for Taurus and Scorpio because we just left those nodes and now we're in Aries and Libra. Hey, Monty. Joining me all the way from the A. Hi, Sam. Hey, 6 images. Everybody's in here. Thank y'all for joining and thank you for the likes and the gifts already. So yeah, I'm just giving the, I was rambling while I was waiting for y'all. I was giving the daily energies. So Imani, shout out to you. Your birthday's coming up. Leo season actually starts on Saturday, y'all. And Imani, your birthday is, don't tell me, the 24th or the 26th. Hey, 6 images. What's in Leo now? That's what I was talking about. So the sun is in Cancer, the moon is in Leo, Mercury and Venus is in Leo. And then Venus will be in retrograde at 28 degrees, I believe. Right before it was, not supposed to, because everything is happening the way it's supposed to. The 26th, thank you. I knew it was an even number. Yes, so we got Mercury, but Mercury is actually moving fast through Leo, so it's getting ready to leave. I can't remember what degree it's in. Should have had my preparation. I should have things prepared, but I got a book about retrograde. That's what we're talking about mainly today, because it's retrograde season, because we're already in Saturn and Neptune in both in Pisces retrograde. Those two are in retrograde. And we're getting ready to be in Venus retrograde on Sunday and Chiron retrograde on Venus retrograde on Saturday, Chiron retrograde on Sunday. Yep. You know, my moon and Mercury are all in Leo as well. Are they? See, because I've done so many daggone readings. I be trying to remember everybody, especially y'all's big three. I do know about your rising, Imani. Who's putting their phone number in here? Mod, get that out, please. My son is my mod. He's in the chat. So y'all, he's in the thing. You see that? No posting of your numbers here. I'm not sure why. You put your number up here, Chloe. All right, so yes, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, and Jupiter all in Leo. So yeah, Leo, you got a lot of this energy from Venus in retrograde. And, we know each other personally. Whatever you want to put in the chat, but I'm going to definitely tap into Leo energy today because we're going into the sun moving into Leo this weekend. So Cancers has been real emotional. But especially for us water signs, it's been really emotional, but it's also been ever changing, especially with the new moon. And I feel the new energies coming in, especially with the cardinal energies of Cancer, Pluto and Capricorn, and Aries and Libra in the north and south nodes. So yeah, rising Leos, I will tell y'all when we get into Leo season, it'll be, most of the energies will be tied to the Venus in retrograde. So we can talk about that, but my main topic today is retrogrades. So if you do have any questions or comments, please put them in the chat and let's chat. Okay, so as I said, we have Saturn in Pisces in retrograde. We have Neptune in Pisces in retrograde. Saturn is the planet of discipline, authority, rules, responsibility. And it's in Pisces, the sign of forgiveness, endings, healing, spirituality. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, also Jupiter. But Neptune is also Pisces. Since Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, Pisces is at home in Neptune. So it's extra potent, okay? The retrogrades of Saturn are kind of making us end a few things as a collective, because Saturn is one of the inner and outer planets. So it moves every 2 years through a sign. So it'll be in Pisces. It just moved into Pisces in March. It'll be in Pisces until about 2025. And the energies coming from Saturn and Pisces, when it was in Aquarius, we were being restricted. We were on lockdown. We had to take the jab and those kind of things, or we were restricted from working and all those kind of things, traveling. And now in Pisces, we're kind of restricted. We're wrapping up the cycle. Anytime a sign is in Pisces, that means the cycle is ending, because Pisces is the last zodiac sign. Definitely ending some stuff. Exactly. And it's like you have to discipline yourself. We all are getting more disciplined with our spirituality, our healing. Even me, I'm really trying to step into this energy of retrograde, because retrograde is, redoing things, revamping things, reevaluating things. And I'm really trying to step into this energy of the forgiveness part of Pisces energy. We still got fireworks going in Southeast DC, y'all. So if y'all hearing in the background, nobody's getting killed outside. My South Node is in Pisces, but I have Saturn in Virgo. So it's opposing. Your Saturn is opposing the current Saturn. Your natal Saturn is opposing the current Saturn. So you might want to be disciplined more about the way you organize things, your health, right? You already know. I have a proposal for you, Imani, later, but we're going to do that off camera. I actually have a proposal for you. Remind me to hit you up about it. I thought about it like a couple of hours ago. But yeah, if you have like Saturn and Virgo, like Imani does, that is, I don't know, the recent generation would be like, I'm trying to figure out the date and time or the age group. But Saturn and Virgo people were like 1978 to 1980. Am I correct, Imani? So you all are having an opposition with the current Saturn if you have Saturn and Virgo. And it's in your second house, that's finances. So you got to get disciplined with your finances, your work ethics, your values. We're going to definitely talk about values when we talk about Venus retrograde, because a lot of people's values are changing because all the fixed signs. Since Venus is a personal planet, it's closer to the sun, which means it has to do more with individuals. that have the fixed signs, especially if you have Venus in Leo, especially if you have Venus in Taurus, especially if you have Venus in Scorpio like myself, especially if you have Venus in Aquarius. The fixed signs. My grandson has Venus in Aquarius. It's all about changing our value, what we value. I didn't mean to switch over to Venus this quick because we were talking about Saturn and Neptune and Pisces, but we were comparing what you were just talking about, Imani. Okay, will do. Might. What does this mean? Might. Oh, you were born in 79. So, I guess, because I have Venus. I mean, I have Saturn in Leo, right? No, you're right. What am I thinking? We just talked about this last night, didn't we? I have Saturn in Leo, 29 degrees and 55 minutes, y'all. So, Saturn and Virgo would have started the next day or like later that week. So, Saturn and Virgo, people that are opposing the current Saturn and Pisces right now, were born in 1977 towards the end, and up that would be 2 years from that would be like the end of 1979. So you're probably at the end. Your degrees are at the tail end. Ashe to everyone on the East Coast. It's 10:10. Ashe. Ashe. Thank you, son. All right. So yeah, definitely everybody's values are changing. You can kind of see it in everyone. We just said Ashe. It's 10:10. We are all just seeing things. We're getting more disciplined about how we are receiving a lot. So let me switch this up to when we're talking about with Neptune in retrograde, because I want to try to go through all of these. Thank you, Imani. Imani said Ashe in the chat. So we want to go through all of these retrogrades within an hour. So we got 49 more minutes. I'm trying to set boundaries, y'all, too, because I need my rest. Neptune and Pisces will keep me dreaming. It'll keep me, my subconscious going. And Neptune and Pisces has been there since 2012, I believe, like right when my youngest child was born. Because those are the outer planets. Saturn is an inner outer planet because it can go through the sign within 2 years. But Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto all take like 5 to 10 to 14 to 20 years to go through a sign. Hey, Z, shout out to her. Now, listen, I just did my second reading today. You were my first on video, and I tried a new video thing. Me and my son is like my IT person and my mod. So we both were trying to figure out how to how to get the volume for the screen record. So you were the first, and I tested it and just saw how it went, Z. And my other friend who got her free reading today was allowed me to screen record her, and we didn't have the sound. So I was talking about that in my my video before this. I started live today, and it was literally me saying I gotta revamp this business, and I gotta learn all these new apps and new technologies, and that's part of retrograde season. It's like slowing down. With Saturn and Pisces in retrograde, we're getting disciplined. With Neptune and Pisces in retrograde, we're seeing things in plain sight. So y'all know I do astrology for health, wealth, and love, but I also do it for truths. And that Neptune in retrograde is the one where we get our truths from. It's like, are we seeing the illusions, and are we ending them within, our connection with them, or are we letting it take hold of us? Hey, Marissa, what do you think about my big three? Aries rising. So you definitely got the North Node. You got the current North Node that we just moved into, the Aries North Node, aspecting that Leo Sun and Leo Moon. So we're talking about Venus and Leo in retrograde. So if you hold on for that, I can definitely tell you about the Leo Sun and the Leo Moon. Anything in Leo with your big three like you have, or your if you have Venus in Leo, or even the North Node in Leo, or even MC in Leo, they're all pretty much going to aspect. Any placement you have is going to aspect. Any place, I'm sorry, I'm declining joining the live. Any placement you have in Leo is going to aspect Venus, because Venus is going all the way to the end of Leo in degrees. Like if it weren't going in retrograde, it would be going into Virgo, because it's gonna station retrograde, which means it's gonna start going backwards in degrees on Saturday, and it'll be at 28 degrees of Leo. The 29th degree is the last degree until they switch signs. Your Venus is in Cancer. Oh, lucky you. But nonetheless, all your other, like, so if you have the Leo, what was it again? The Leo moon. So your emotions need the way you express your emotions. And Leos are the expressive sign, the dramatic sometimes. It's not like the Cancer dramatics. The Cancer dramatics are moody. The Leo dramatics are, I'm here, see me now, you're going to notice me. And with Venus, it could be, you're going to notice me in retrograde, okay? With Venus and Leo in retrograde, you're going to notice me, but maybe when somebody notices you, they're like, you got a booger on your nose, you know? Or that new hair, that doesn't look good on you. Or you might have, you know, the main thing about Venus in retrograde, y'all, is, and with Libra in the South Node now, is the relationship piece. And we're going to get to that. I guess we're just going to have to dig into it because we got a lot of Leos to talk to in here. You can always ask me as well. I'm definitely familiar with. Oh, really? You are? That's right. We talked about that on your reading. Do you know about the the new app called Loom? It's so many new apps that came with Pluto in retrograde. I'm trying to look through the chat and I done hit something else. Hold on, y'all. There we go. There's a new app it's for screen recording, so I won't have to screen record from my iPhone and use up all my space. And it sends me the recording right after the call is over on my email. And when I went to my email and when I looked on the app, it was no sound. And I remember touching the microphone too. My girl Melanin B is in here. Melanin B, you're a Taurus rising. Let me stop right here because I'm still talking about retrograde, y'all. But let me say something really quick about us Scorpio and Taurus big three placements. So that's Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon, Scorpio Rising. Thank you, Marissa, for the follow. And Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, and Taurus Rising. Luckily, I'm a Scorpio Sun. Luckily, my oldest is a Taurus Sun. My son is a Taurus Rising, and my youngest daughter is a Taurus Moon. We all deserve, like, literally, while the nodes were in place right before Monday when they switched to Aries and Libra, they were in Taurus and Scorpio for 18 months, and literally it was off the chain. Then Saturn, you know, anything is in a fixed sign like Venus and Leo. Saturn was in Aquarius for 2 years before it moved into Pisces this year. All the fixed signs energy, if you have Leo in your big three, Aquarius in your big three, and especially Taurus and Scorpio, it's like a relief right now. And I feel it. I don't know if you have. I know that Melanin B is a Taurus rising. I know it's like a relief right now where we are finally seeing some leadway with some things. We're finally not being, things are not so controlling, and we're not trying to control things. Y'all, I really hope that the background noise is not messing with everything, because it is literally lit outside right now. And it's a Wednesday, a wild Wednesday. My Taurus son wants to say hi.
It's a parade inside my city.
Hood. So yeah, and that's a Aries moon and Gemini rising, that child right there. All right, I'm scared for the retrograde with my sun and moon. Right, so that's what I'm saying, because Venus retrograde has to do with our finances, okay? And Venus rules Taurus and Libra. So like Venus has been ruling the North Node for a minute, giving us the rewards, giving us the resources, and we depleted them. That was the energy, which is what the South Node in Scorpio was like. Okay, well, you know, Scorpio is about other people's money, and we were literally just taking other people's money, because listen, the government was not giving it to us. We fund the government. Let's just be real and truthful. Neptune in retrograde in plain sight with it, okay? So we were literally funding each other, and it depleted because everybody was getting a little greedy. The resources were gone and all that. So that's what I mean about finally we're getting some leadway. Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius placements with some things. I know some Leo placements that have been rekindling some flames. I'm not going to say no names. All right, hold on. It's a lot of chat. I appreciate y'all tonight. Hit the like while you're in here too, please. It's a lot of people in, so please hit those likes. Tap that screen for me a few times. All right, so Marissa answered that one. Roxy, I like that name. No, not you. Hey, bestie. Listen, the fixed signs is in the house. There's my bestie, Santi, and she is an Aquarius sun. You said no, not me. What, Monty? I'm a Cancer and Capricorn. Cancer, Capricorn. So is that Cancer sun, Cancer moon, and Capricorn rising, Roxy? You got a lot of cardinal energy. You're a born leader. You're the mother and the father of the household. You're the sole provider and the nurturer, and I can tell just from those placements if that's your big three. Good evening, my dukes. Yes. So, Roxy, am I right? Are you the leader of like everything and anything? Because cardinal energy is initiating and starting things. Oh, you're not rekindling? No flames. You don't have to. Have fun. The other thing about Leo is having fun, right? Leo season is the heart of the summer. So it's when we have the hot girl summer. Leo's the fire sign. Leo, again, is the sun. So everything, spotlight is on all y'all. So that's what you do. Y'all have fun. So you don't have to rekindle no flames. Just have fun. Okay? And make sure you do. Don't let nobody, not even a retrograde, hold you back. Thank you, y'all, for all the likes. We got them up to 1,000 that fast. I appreciate y'all. Who else got a question about it? Otherwise, I'm going to go back into talking about Venus retrograde. Because we've done, I don't want to go too deep into Neptune retrograde. I want to fill y'all out and what y'all want to talk about. Because Neptune and retrograde can be really conspiracy theorist. Y'all know I can go on and on about that. So Venus in retrograde, let's talk about finances. Let's take a break from love for a second. So Venus in retrogrades, your finances as the fixed placements, right? Or even the fire sign placements. So the fixed placements, again, fixed signs are Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus. Okay. And then the fire signs are Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. So if you have any of those placements in your big three, you are going to be reevaluating, revamping, possibly redoing finances, your beauty regimens, or your love, intimate relationships. It could be also partnerships too, and friendships, okay? Because it depends on where you have Leo at. So let's talk about the houses real quick and the purposes. So if you're a Libra rising like me, I always do mine first. I have Leo in the 11th house. The first house is where you have your risings. There's 12 houses. I go backwards. Before Libra is Virgo. I have Virgo in the 12th house. Before Virgo is Leo. I have Leo in the 11th house. The 11th house is actually the Aquarius house. So it's the opposite house of where Leo technically would be if I'm an Aries rising, like Miss Roxy. Who somebody in here was an Aries rising. I think Marissa. But I have the flip of the houses, right? So I have Leo in the 11th house. Where I'm going with this is Venus is retrograding in my 11th house because I have Leo there. Venus is retrograding in Leo. Venus is retrograding in Leo. So in my Leo house is where she's showing me what I need to either work on or what I'm doing well on, right? So the 11th house includes your hopes and wishes, groups, your innovation, your humanitarianism. It's also the house of friends. Okay. So when I say it could be, I'm doing well with that, or I'm doing not so well with that. Recently I have been rekindling some old friendships with people that I have not talked to since 2020. Okay. The last time, let's also talk about really quick how Venus goes through the same retrogrades every 8 years in the same sign. So the last time Venus was in retrograde, I did Taurus is in your Venus, so then you're affected because you have a fixed Venus. Like it is in a Leo's a fixed Venus too. Scorpio's a fixed Venus. I have Venus in Scorpio, and then Aquarius, having Venus in Aquarius is also a fixed Venus. Okay, fixed signs, stubborn, but are persistent, will follow through with things. So those that have the Venus in any of the fixed signs will follow through with this retrograde. You will come out on the top if you just see what you have to reevaluate with it, right? So where I'm going with this, I have Leo in the 11th house, the house of friends, the house of hopes and wishes. Since 2020, I was hoping to not hear from anybody. I'm gonna be honest. I was done with people. And I was like, listen, everybody's here for a season, all those kind of sayings, everybody's not your friend forever, all those kind of things. And then all of a sudden, people started hitting me back up. It could be because I've been more present on social media too, but it's in this retrograde is making me rethink how I dismissed a lot of people, even some family. And since they've been coming back, I'm more forgiving. That's that Pisces energy with Saturn retrograde and Neptune retrograde in Pisces. More forgiving and more not trying to mend things, but just see what's up, see if there's something there where we can cordially talk. And that's what I want. So if you know you're rising, we could go through what the retrograde might be telling you. I have Scorpio and Pluto and Lilith. Whew. I have Lilith in the 8th house, Roxy. It's so hard to talk about Lilith Scorpios and Lilith 8th house. I was watching a video when I was learning about Lilith, and the lady was even uncomfortable talking about Lilith. So hit me up. I have free readings in my Calendly, my booking link on my page here on TikTok that you can go straight to it and get a free reading. Okay. So take advantage of that. And we can definitely talk about that Scorpio and Lilith. That's more of a private conversation. Definitely is. And everybody who is a millennial is Pluto and Scorpio. So I know you're in your 30s. All right. So anything else? All right. So I was saying, you heard. Okay, cool, Roxy. So don't forget to hit that booking link. It's painless. Us Lilith and Scorpio or Lilith and 8th house people got stuff to talk about. Mine is in Gemini, so the way I talk is just nasty. Just nasty. Thank you for the likes. So yeah, I wanted to do anybody's 1 second. No, I just want rice and I don't want no meat. It's too late. I just want rice and spinach, please. Thank you. And put some foil over it so it'll stay warm. Thank you. My kids are cooking dinner because I was doing a reading full-time job and a lot of driving around in traffic in DC, and then I'm doing this live. So appreciate my children. We're on the come up. So yeah, the Venus retrograde. Let's wrap that up, and then I want to do Chiron retrograde, and then I want to tell you about the upcoming retrogrades because they're not over. We are in Saturn retrograde. We're in Neptune retrograde. Venus retrograde starts on Saturday. Again, that's about revamping whatever your house purpose is. I can show y'all the house, I think, even with this background. Whatever your house purpose is, wherever you have Leo, wherever you have the Leo house is what you're working on or what you're doing good in, okay? So again, mine is Leo's in the 11th house. I am revamping my friendships. Social awareness too. So I feel like I'm doing good with social awareness because I put a lot on here, not just astrology, but I try to let people know about ways to take care of their health without pharmaceuticals. I'm trying to do these things along with y'all too. All right. And hopes and wishes for the future. So my hopes and wishes is that we all can be more innovative, especially coming out of the nodes with being in Taurus, the North Node being in Taurus, because a lot of our resources are depleted. So I would love for us all to come together. That's my hope and wish and dream. And I'm going to use this Venus in retrograde to figure out ways on how to revamp the plan that I have for all of us becoming innovative, even in my household. I want us all to become more innovative and more business oriented instead of more goal oriented, just instead of following like the regular path that we all have been following aimlessly for lifetimes. Roxy, if y'all are still here, because I feel like I'm rambling. It was a lot in the chat for a second. Y'all hit me with the rising if you want to know your purpose with this Venus retrograde. And any questions you have more about Venus retrograde. So let's move on to Chiron retrograde. All right. Chiron, if you don't know, is the wounded healer. Chiron was birthed from, it's an asteroid. He was birthed, or she, I don't know what a Chiron is actually, by Uranus and Saturn. So Uranus is the planet of surprise and rebellion. It's the planet right after Saturn. Saturn is the oldest planet. Uranus rules Aquarius. Saturn also formerly ruled Aquarius, and now it rules Capricorn. What'd you say, Imani? So Chiron, he's a he. That's what you're saying. Thank you. So Chiron is a he. I think I do remember him being a he now, right? Thank you. So Chiron is in Aries. Chiron is also getting ready to go retrograde, okay? Chiron, if you have Chiron in Aries, you're healing the furthest back that you can think of, like when you were first born, because Aries is the first sign. Retrograde again is you the prefix redo, reuse, revamp, reevaluate, review how you're healing, okay? And Chiron in Aries again is like, I know my Chiron is in Taurus, so we're talking about the people born right before me. And Chiron lasts between 5 to 8 years in a sign. So everybody probably between the early 70s, maybe even the late 60s to mid 70s have Chiron in Aries. And then there are like, I believe, early 20s. I got to think about the next set of Chiron and Aries people. But yes, what, Imani? Let me know what I'm doing right. But when Chiron goes into retrograde, with Venus in retrograde, and they're both in fire signs, there's a lot of healing to be done with how you are staying inspired and how you are moving forward, because fire signs inspire, their drive, especially Aries. Aries is the leader, the zodiac, the leader of all the fire energy. So Chiron in Aries is like healing your your leadership energies. Like, I'm trying to say this correctly. Sometimes I have my own little Mercury retrograde going in my head where I'm tongue-tied. But Chiron in Aries is more like you are brave normally, you have self-identity, you have leadership skills, you have you're like a pioneer, but there's something that is still holding you back, and you might need to just check it again because you haven't healed it. You haven't healed childhood trauma. Okay. I can easily say that the group before me, I'm 45, 46 at the end of this year. So the ones who are 50s, early 50s, I know personally a few that have said that they feel like, and that we're talking about like the early generation X. because the late generation X, like late 70s to early 80s, is called zillennials. It's in between X and millennials. Anyway, those people are having like a strong need for healing trauma. And it comes from way back because they feel like they're affecting, right now, they feel like they're affecting the young people that are like their grandkids. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I know that when Chiron moves into Taurus, I think it's 2025, it'll be my generation of people healing from financial situations and what we value again and how we feel secure. So anyway, if you have Aries placements, these are always being affected, especially with the North Node, especially with Venus and Leo again, because it's the fire sign and the fire sign trine. But trines, one thing I can say about trines, even though they're both being retrograde, trines are supported energy. So the fire signs will be supporting each other in healing, in changing their values, in doing the things that need to be slowed down and redone to get to the solution, which is healing and getting the right love of your life, getting the right money coming in, getting the right beauty regimen. Let me point out that, hi Nia, Barbie, I don't know who you're talking about. You must be a youngin'. I want to point out that Venus in retrograde has me wanting to switch. I wanted to go to a new nail tech, but I was like, no, because you're not supposed to do nothing new in retrogrades, especially with Venus being about beauty. And my nails literally just been breaking left and right. So I'm about to just soak all these off, get either my real nails done or not have my nails done until after September, because I'm not going to waste money on nails and they keep getting broke. It's not going to happen during this Venus in retrograde. All right, last thing I want to talk about, y'all, is the retrogrades coming up. Let me also, if anybody wanted to put their rising sign still, I was going to go through the placements where the house that you have Leo in. Imani, let's do yours since you're still here. Let's do Leo risings. So if you have Leo rising, Venus is in your first house, affecting your first house. And that will be how you come across the people, your first impression. So you might be revamping your body, your looks, but again, don't do it with any new, if you don't do it yourself, don't try any new things, just maintain what you have, or, just check out what you might want to do when Venus goes direct. It's also, the first house is also, let me look at my notes. What am I missing? The body, the attitude, your self-identity, and your approach in life. So if you are Leo rising like Imani, Venus is going to be in your first house. It's so hot that it's lights too, y'all. And I want to turn on the air, but it's very noisy. Let me also say about first house, I need to use my book more so I can know exactly what I want to say. So I have it set. We're going to Venus in the first house planets. So I can tell y'all exactly. I thought I had the page, but I don't. I had it on something else I wanted to say. Okay. Venus in the first house. You're gracious, charming, and very, very attractive. People gravitate toward you. Actually, Imani, you are Leo rising, but you have Imani's probably stepped off, but Venus is affecting her first house because she has a Leo rising, so Leo's in her first house, but I think she has Venus somewhere else. I wish you can come back and tell me. But if you do have Venus in the first house because you're a Leo rising, because Leo is your first house, you're gracious, charming, and very, very attractive. People gravitate towards you. Since you simply ooze charisma, all Leos do, you have a need for beautiful things and can't stand any scenario that doesn't have a dazzling quality to it. Watch out for being too lazy, though. I don't think you're lazy, Monty. You don't have to lift a finger when you're this magnetic. So, that is if you have Venus in Leo or if you are a Leo rising, what I just read. Right, you have Venus in Cancer. I knew it wasn't Leo. Okay. Let me read yours. Since you came back, it is affecting your first house. That's what I meant. I'm getting tongue-tied because I've had a long day, y'all, but astrology excites me, so I hang in here with it. Let me do your Cancer one now. I like to go off the top of my head, but sometimes I forget what everything I want to say, and I go towards my notes or my books. Oh, never left. You've been here. Okay, cool. I know that's right. Thank you for hanging in with me. Oh, you got a Venus. What do you mean Venus rising 6 image? So rising sign is different from your Venus sign. Let me know 6 images. My moderator, my son, went back to his video games. Because I see we have a few stragglers in here. All right. You want me to read your Venus in the 12th house? You already know your stuff. You already know your stuff, Imani. Okay. This is Pluto. How did I get to Pluto? This book is it's a small book, but it's super confusing. Because I'm just looking for 6th house, 7th house, and the 12th house. There we go. All right. Venus in the 12th house. You're sensitive and soft. So this is if you're Leo rising, but she's a Leo rising, but she has Venus, like I said, in Cancer in the 12th house. But Venus is currently in Leo, so it's affecting her first house. All right, but she has Venus in the 12th house. You're sensitive and soft, and your love runs insanely deep with limitless boundaries. That makes sense because 12th house is about releasing your limiting beliefs. You prefer people not to poke around in your love life or your music or what's you like on Instagram. In short, you're private. This is a funny book. So I would agree with that, Imani. You're a Libra rising like me. 6 images. Okay, cool. So you're a Libra rising, so you have Leo in the 11th house like me. And we just talked about this, but I'll do it again because you came back. I appreciate you. You are re-evaluating friendships, how you are socially aware. You are reevaluating your wishes and futures because a lot of us have hopes and wishes for the future that have switched up recently. So that's what Venus in retrograde in Leo, in your Leo house, in the 11th house for us Libra risings, is showing us that we need to check out and reevaluate or review or redo. I was just sharing how I had cut off a lot of friends because the 11th house, having Leo in the 11th house, being a Libra rising, has shown me that I need to maybe rethink and see what they, see if we can just at least be cordial. Or see if we can even become back friends. But that's what, Venus is about relationships. So that's why the 11th house not only is helpful for us Libra risings to see about our friendships, it's also helpful because it's like if we do hope that this person comes back or even goes away, we can manifest that with Leo, having Leo in the 11th house. Yes, you're probably, yes, they switch for sure, right. Because, as above, so below, it wasn't the same energy back in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s when all of us on here were born. It's definitely new energies with new placements in the sky that could be opposing, could be squaring, or could be trining, or could be sextiling. And those kind of language, if you don't know what I'm talking about, we're going to just briefly, it's either conflict, it's either opposition or support, it's either a challenge, right? With the squares and oppositions. And this has to do with the modes, which is cardinal signs, Capricorn, Aries, Libra, and Cancer, or fixed signs, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo, or mutable signs, Sagittarius, Gemini, Pisces, and Virgo. So that is how you talk about oppositions and squares, conflict or oppositions. The sextile and trines that I was referring to is all about the elements. So the air signs, the water signs, the fire signs, and the earth signs and how they support each other. So because all that has been changing as the planets change signs, that is why our values, our beliefs, our the way we love, the way we look at all the things that the houses have to do. That's why it's important to know where you have when planets are going through retrogrades, when planets are moving into new signs, when the moon is full or new. It's important to know where you have that sign, whatever the planet or moon or sun is in your house chart. Yes, they switch for sure. Yeah. All right. So let's wrap this up with, because I went through Neptune retrograde, Saturn retrograde. Venus again will be retrograde on Saturday, the 22nd of July, and it'll end on September the 4th. The whole thing about Venus retrograde and a lot of planets retrogrades, they have what's called the shadows. They have the pre-shadow and the post-shadow. So we're still in the pre-shadow, and the pre-shadow for Venus is a month before and a month after. So these Venus retrograde energies have really started. I broke up with my ex-girlfriend the day it started back in June the 22nd. So it starts July the 22nd. So when it ends on September the 4th, September 3rd, September the 4th, depending on where you are on this planet, it'll technically be out of post-shadow on October the 4th. So this is how long we're in this retrograde energies, re-evaluating our finances, how we love, and the relationships we're in, and our beauty. All right. Mercury, and I did have notes, and I just remember that I still didn't go outside and get them. They're in the car. Mercury will be back in retrograde at the end of August. I think it's the 24th. It'll be in retrograde in Virgo. Right, because Mercury's in Leo currently. It'll be moving into Virgo, I want to say in the next week and a half. It'll be in Virgo, and it'll get to the end, and then it'll go in retrograde through Virgo. Mercury rules Virgo. So we'll talk more about that retrograde when we get closer to it, at least when we get into August. Then we also have Jupiter and Uranus, both in Taurus, going in retrograde in August as well. So we're in retrograde season, y'all, through the summer and most of the fall. Uranus won't even be out of retrograde until January of 2024. Uranus normally it goes into retrograde last and it ends last too. Uranus, Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune, and Pluto. Oh, Pluto's in retrograde too. I totally forgot about Pluto. How can I forget about my planet ruler? Pluto's in retrograde too, y'all. That's why it's back in Capricorn. It will go back it'll go direct, I believe, October or November, and it'll move back into Aquarius when we will start talking about UFOs and AI and technology be even further and out of this world by January 2024 when Pluto is back in Aquarius. So we're going to have Venus, Saturn, Neptune, Pluto, Chiron, which is not a planet, but it is an asteroid. It is a significant placement for us, for our healing. Jupiter and Uranus. That is 7 planets and placements, y'all, that are going to be in retrograde this summer and fall. Okay? Lots of lessons to learn, lots of things to revamp, redo, reevaluate, review. What's another re? Y'all give me another re in the chat. Remind, rewind. All those things that we're thinking of, okay? All those things that we're going to be working on. These lessons keep coming up every year because every year most of us don't learn them. A lot of these have to do with past lives lessons too. Even the nodes have to do with past life lessons. So it is super important to me, at least. But I mean, I'm in this with y'all. You know, I'm learning lessons too for the 100th time, for the 100th life. If you all believe in past lives and future lives, past lives are lessons that we still haven't learned in the current life, and future lives is when we step into the North Node, our natal North Node, or the current North Node, and just take the challenge, step out of our comfort zone, which is the South Node. In retrogrades, if we don't see some change in ourselves, it'll come back around and make us try it again. That's what retrogrades do. Any questions? I appreciate y'all. Y'all got me up to 2,000 likes. I still got some folks in here. I appreciate y'all. Any final thoughts? Anybody want to give me their rising sign? Let me see if I want to do maybe I should do the Pisces rising signs, because we have Neptune and Saturn in Pisces in retrograde. So Neptune and Saturn are retrograding in Pisces. So if you're a Pisces rising, your lessons would be getting more disciplined about your body. If you're a Pisces rising, getting more responsible about your approach to life, your self-identity. With Neptune retrograde, if you're a Pisces rising, you'd be learning more about your subconscious self, your healing, your spirituality that you need to be, revamping or reviewing. A lot of people with mutable signs like Pisces, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Gemini the mutable signs are the adapters. So they easily adapt. So ever since we had the Gemini and Sagittarius North Node and South Node, which was during 2020, right when we were talking about when we were on lockdown and travel wasn't good, travel wasn't happening for many of us, and we had to be confined to our local areas. That's Gemini. Sagittarius is travel. So the Sagittarius South Node was restricting our travel. The Gemini North Node was showing us how we need to worry about our local surroundings more, right? If you notice, when we were all on lockdown, the surroundings were blossoming because we weren't out in it. I have 2 in Cancer and 2 in Leo in the same house. I don't know if it counts. Which planets? Which planets are you having in Leo? Or which placements? Let me know. But if you are Pisces rising, the Neptune, the Neptune energy, the illusions, there's some forgiveness with Neptune too that you could be working on with self. So those retrogrades that would be the lessons that you're learning if you're a Pisces rising, because you would have Saturn affecting your first house and Neptune affecting your first house right now, because that's your Pisces house. You have Venus and Mercury in Leo. Okay, so you are definitely going to be affected, KD. Nice to meet you. Please follow me if you haven't and hit the likes. Venus is in Leo right now. So I don't know how long you've been here or if you know that. And if you have the Venus and Leo placement, you have a lot of lessons in finances, beauty, and love. You are not to start any new loves, or you don't have to rekindle any flames with exes, but they might come back around. Or you might want to go back to an ex, and you need to rethink that. You need to take things slow. Revamping finances with Venus and Leo. Mercury in Leo also is just you're good with numbers. You are good with public speaking, because Leo is expressive, dramatic, the celebrity, the spotlight on them. And Mercury in Leo is the communicator, Mercury is the plane of communication, knowledge, and information. Should I like? Okay, we got another one. I'm gonna ignore. What is? Wait a minute, Priscilla, Sagittarius, and Gemini. What do you have the Sagittarius and Gemini? What placements, Priscilla? Nice to meet you. Please follow me and hit the like. Should I let Joey go for good after 22 years? I don't know, Joey. You have to give me some more information. I can talk about you if you're in here and you like that. Thank y'all again for hitting the likes. We still got some people in here. I'm getting ready to end this in 5 minutes, y'all, because I need to eat and rest my eyes. Please, Priscilla, tell me what's up. What do you need? How can I help you? Thank you for the likes. Thank everybody that's coming through here. So this is me talking about retrograde season. And if you'd like me to tell you about you can go onto my page and hit the booking button. I'm doing free readings, and you're welcome to sign up for a free reading. Are old relationships affected? Are all old? What are old relationships, Katie? Oh, you mean like your ex, Katie? Is that what you mean? You're welcome, Priscilla. Thank you. So if you have Venus and Leo, Katie, I think that's what you told me, right? It could be friendships, it could be partnerships, it could be family relationships, ones you've already established, ongoing relationship. It could always be something that needs to be reviewed in relationships. And if there is something there that needs to be reviewed so that you all can move forward. Hi, Emily. I'm not sure why y'all are, I don't know if this is bot behavior from Emily and Priscilla, because who is Brandon and Joey? All right. But Katie, yeah, it's like you are going to be, if you're in a relationship or if you have an ongoing relationship with someone, it's just going to be something that you're going to have to review. Even if it's a solid relationship, there's always something on the horizon with every relationship and everyone that could be spiced up, spruced up. Brandon is your nephew? Okay, cool, Priscilla. But yeah, hit my booking and we can talk about you, Brandon, whoever you need to talk about, whoever you want the reading about. You're welcome, Katie. And the last thing, Katie, I haven't looked at your profile yet, but if you are female or male, either way, beauty regimen, the way you are bringing your charm, your charisma, just don't do anything new with your beauty regimen. How you give your first impression, how you look, keep things simple until September the 4th, when Venus is direct again and out of retrograde. She's direct now, but she's stationing retrograde on Saturday. So I love color in my hair. This is my new growth and this is my real hair. And I wanted more color and I wanted length. So I got my daughter who's been doing my hair to do my hair. And we did not dye it because Venus is in retrograde. I might not like it later on. And I spent a lot of money on it. I didn't want to go get a new hairstylist. And I didn't want to re-dye my hair. Re-dye my hair, it might all fall out. Those kind of things. Piercings? That's a good question. I would, if you already have piercings, like if this is not your first time getting them pierced, if it's like, your first time I wouldn't do that. But if it's not your first time, like if you already have a nose ring or a lip ring like I do, I would also go back to the same person that pierced you, not a new person. That's a good question. Even like with tattoos, no plastic surgery. If anyone likes to do plastic surgery here, no plastic surgery during Venus retrograde. None. It almost makes me want to go back. Matter of fact, when did Donda die, y'all? And I'm going to end it with this because I don't want to go too deep into the rabbit hole. But when did Donda West die. Y'all know who Donda West is? That's Kanye West, because she had plastic surgery. Was it not 2015? Where is my other phone? Because somebody look for me real quick. Because the last time, I think I didn't even get back to this. Venus was in Leo in retrograde in 2015. Me personally, I got divorced in 2015. It was the worst divorce. We literally got divorced in Venus in retrograde in Leo in 2015, me and my ex-husband. And we literally hated each other all the way up to, I want to say, this year. We finally are cordial this year. And it was a terrible divorce. It was a rush divorce because we literally was separated for 5-6 years, and all of a sudden it was just like, okay, now we hurry up, let's get away, hurry up and sign the papers, hurry, this and that. But we were separated and not even messing with each other since 2009. So what was the rush? Either we was going to do it in 2010 or we can take forever. You know, we should have done it in. We should have not done it in. And because we shouldn't have done it in Venus retrograde, but because my ex-husband was pressing me out first, I was pressing him out. Then he was pressing me out. And what happened was when he got divorced to me, he ended up having to pay me a whole lot of money. A whole lot of money. So see how Venus in retrograde messes with your finances? If you do something financial like get a divorce, like sign a new contract. It's the same thing with Mercury retrograde. You're not supposed to sign new contracts. That was funny, Katie, right? Like I had did my research when I was doing trying to, find characteristics of Venus in retrograde. And when I realized that one of the things was that Venus in retrograde goes in the same sign every 8 years. So it was like before 2015, it was 2007. Before that, it was 1998, something like that. Anyway, 1999. But anyway, it was just like when I thought about those times and what I was doing, or think about what you were doing in 2015 for Venus in retrograde. Because it was like at least 4-month period, because it's the shadow period before and after, and then it's like a 6 week. It's like 3.5 months total. So somewhere in 2015, I can't remember the exact months. I know that it was happening when I was getting a divorce in 2015. But yeah, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anybody in here is on the verge of getting divorced or on a breakup, I know I broke up my relationship of a year when the shadow started on June the 22nd. We actually tried to get back together last week. Didn't work. Hey, Shea Butter, how are you? So yeah, y'all, it's 11:02. I've been on here for quite a bit, and I'm super tired today, y'all. So I always put my lives on my YouTube channel. I got all my links collected to my page. Please hit me up for your free reading. I'm great, Shea Butter. Thank you for asking. Please hit me up for free readings. The link is on my bio of TikTok. Not only that, I have my website that me and my son are working on, sprucing that up. Wanted to talk a little bit, but the new moon in Cancer, I did that on Sundays live. So thank you for following and liking. But yeah, if the Capricorn placements, maybe we can get into that on Friday's live a little bit more. I also wanted to do my special thing on Friday, which is Venus retrograde Eve. So hit me up. Send me a DM if you have any questions. If you want your free reading, hit the Calendly link so you can book it. I will honor it. And yeah, let's get this astrology thing popping. All right, y'all. Thank you for being here. Again, thank you for all the likes. Thank you for all the comments and in the chat. Thank you for interacting. I am TMZ, teaching everyone abundantly, empowering many. Zakia, that is my real name. You can call me Z. Enlightening every day, and this is Get a Life Astrology, which means we're growing into divine adults and loving yourself forever with astrology. Peace, y'all. Thank y'all, everybody, for being here, and I will talk with y'all on Friday live. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.